The first thing we're going to take a look at here in the 0.3 is the campaign mode, which I'm going to give a brief overlook of the new cutscenes and the level progression. A lot of the basic idea behind a lot of this came from games like Command & Conquer, where the tech level increases as the game goes on. So in the very first thing here, we have just the tractor beam, which is standard. It sucks items towards the ship as things explode, and it allows you to collect components. And in a way, it kind of teaches you how to play as you move along. As one might expect, as soon as the mission actually starts, you kind of see your objectives there and get going. And it shouldn't take too much of a learning curve to actually catch on to what's going on. I wanted to start very small and then kind of move into more difficult things as things move on. Of course, and very obviously, as soon as you complete the objectives, the screen will let you know, hey, your objectives are completed, and then you move on back into the cutscene and move on to the next level. There's going to be a little bit more as things progress later on, but right now things are very, very basic. One of the things I thought was very cool going into the campaign mode is that I was going to really be able to show off the different camera angles, the new lighting effects, things that really kind of make Unity shine for this kind of platform. As you can see, the shadows, the particle effects are kind of all over the place, and in a daylight world like this, you can see the lighting effects really kind of shine. And of course, in contrast are the darker worlds, where the lighting effects still kind of let things stand out, but at the same time it's not as intrusive, and it's really quite a different experience. I really can't show too much more of the campaign mode right now because a lot of it is still kind of up in the air. But the skirmish mode is, of course, where everything started. It's very randomly generated, and as we'll see here in a moment, the bases and the structures have really come along quite a bit. Now, the two big things that'll really stand out in this particular clip are, you'll notice the giant bosses. They can obviously fire and shoot. The bullets actually destroy blocks. And the other thing you'll notice is it gets progressively darker over time. The skirmish mode actually has a cycle of day and night, and the lights for the various ships and things like that, and structures as well, will actually come on at night. So it kind of creates a little bit of a different experience, and as time marches on, you have a varying level of difficulty depending on your enemies. Now, of course, in doing something like this, it actually gave a lot more variety and options into the types of buildings and the types of things that could be created. So here we see light posts. We're going to see some of the more advanced guard turrets, walls, and the different variant structures. And I'll kind of go piece by piece as we move along. But there's also the ability now to click on a single building, see the active description of the building, kind of what it does, the basic premise, the ability to destroy it, and it's just a little bit more intuitive than it ever was before. The list for different variety of skills and abilities is definitely been increased quite a bit, and I'm going to kind of go piece by piece and show some of the ones that are 100% completed in this video. I'll show a couple of my most favorite abilities right here. The first one being Stellar Mines, which can be thrown out there. They kind of hang out for a 3-minute time period. Any ships that come close are obviously going to just be completely obliterated. The towers that you can see firing are rapid fire towers, which are unlocked with the rapid fire ability, which kind of brings me to my other favorite, which you can see here. With the lighting effects, especially at night, it just looks phenomenal. And as a tribute to another amazing game concept, I've actually put in here something I call wormholes, which you can see you can lay down a blue one and an orange one. You go through the blue and you end up at the orange as kind of expected. Obviously, I don't want to really say the name of it. I don't know if I could be sued for something like that, but they're called wormholes and they're a heck of a lot of fun, actually. I also, of course, brought over Stealth, which was meant originally for multiplayer, but actually works out really well in the single player too. It was almost inadvertently that the enemies progressively began to grow stronger as time grows on in the level. That's because they can now do things like dig tunnels toward your base and eventually begin to surround you. But long story short, you do have to actually improve pretty drastically on your base and try to do it as quickly as you can, or you will actually be overwhelmed relatively quickly. So I've added a lot of defensive structures as well as offensive structures to kind of make it, a little bit more freeing for you as a player. And one of those things that I'm especially proud of is my little dust collectors. You basically build a refinery. These guys go around, they collect the dust blocks for you, which eliminates the need for you to, as a player, to spend any kind of time mining. So if you need dust, you can, save up to build one of these babies and just kind of go off and do your own thing. Let these guys collect everything for you. Now the risk and reward of the bosses is still something I'm still trying to kind of work out. Obviously these things are maniacally dangerous, they can rip you apart pretty easily, and it's very difficult to actually kill them. So, through different abilities you have well, you can definitely build yourself the ability to kind of tear through them a little easier, but for a little additional challenge you can kind of go against them as is. Alright, well in the interest of not keeping this any longer than it absolutely needs to be, that's a lot of the major new features. Of course, you want to check out games.gamingirresponsibly.com for some of the latest updates and information. Of course, subscribe to this channel if you find this stuff interesting, or just drop me a line. Thanks again, guys.